Hi, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Cook This. This is our favorite local cooking cable show where we take some of our favorite restaurants, ask them to come in and cook some of their famous food. Today on our celebrity judge panel is Mr. Matt Cindy over here. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Miss Lauren Presta.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure. And Mr. John Passarello over there clapping. Welcome again.
Well, thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you for coming this early in the morning, coming to eat fresh food again.
Oh, we
it's
love
really
it.
hard for you guys.
We love that.
Today, we will be taking one of our famous restaurants from LaGrange called Q-BBQ. And the owner and operator is Mr. Michael Lapidus?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Complicated last name. So he's going to start us off with his famous mac and cheese, 3-hour mac and cheese, which he's going to show us the quick version of it because we don't have 3 hours for the show. So take it over, Mike.
All right, Pete, thanks so much. We'll get started right away. We have a pan. We'll turn it on to about a low heat. One thing you don't want to do with mac and cheese is cook it very high because then you get crusty and old and dirty mac and cheese. So we have a lot of ingredients in our mac and cheese. We start off with a simple cooking wine, and we'll start heating that.
So that's not your normal mac and cheese then, huh?
It is not your normal mac and cheese.
If we want our kids to go to bed quickly after dinner, are we throw in the wine?
It's cooking wine, so all the alcohol is
Oh, okay.
taken out of it.
What's the difference?
We know it all cooks down.
Yeah.
It cooks down, right? Kids go to bed faster.
Excellent.
So
Throw a little NyQuil in the mac
don't
and
worry
cheese.
about that.
What does the cooking wine add?
What that's going to do is it's going to saute the garlic, and it's going to combine the nutmeg, the salt, and the white pepper a little better.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But it offers a contrast between the heavy and stark cheeses.
Okay.
And then the buttermilk that we're going to put in later.
Very nice.
So after we let that simmer for a little while, we're going to put in a little nutmeg. Everyone loves nutmeg.
Yeah.
It
Always.
might remind you of Christmas, but
Yes.
we use it all year long.
Yes.
And then we're going to put some chopped garlic that we did this morning. Every dish, I believe, needs to have garlic in it. It's the key to life.
I believe the cologne should also have it. Anyone's cologne should have garlic.
Should. Garlic
If
and
you eat
gin.
too much
takes
garlic,
a-
you will smell
You'll
garlic.
have your natural
That is
cologne.
always available. So.
You're right.
A little white pepper. Get that to season in there.
That's a lot of pepper.
And
That's
we're going
not
to
a
do
little.
we're going to do a little kosher salt.
Why don't you define little?
There we go.
Just a
And
little.
Kosher salt dissolves better than your typical iodized salt in the little crystals there. So we're going to let that saute a little bit. Normally that'll saute for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes.
So it's really blending all those
We
flavors
make
together.
these batches in huge vats,
wow.
about this big.
Wow.
Okay.
We go through, probably about 30 gallons of macaroni at a lunchtime. So we have one guy
Wow.
in our restaurant who only makes macaroni.
So he's the Mac man.
He's the Mac
Yeah.
man.
Macaroni
That's
and cheese,
amazing.
huh?
He macs that.
How long have you guys been there?
We've been there about a year and a half.
That rocks.
Yeah.
And where are you located in LaGrange?
We're downtown LaGrange. We're right next to the movie theater, in
Okay.
between Hortons and the movie theater. We have great parking, which is very rare for downtown LaGrange.
Yeah, you got that parking spot next to you.
And the theater was just newly renovated, so a lot of people are going there and coming here.
Cool.
Excellent.
And you're always at the shop,
I'm always there. I might have seen a couple of you
greeting and meeting
before.
and seating.
All right, next, what we're going to do is make a little simple mixture. If you could help me with the water over there. A simple mixture of flour and water. And what this does is it thickens up the macaroni a little bit. And you want to add that in about the middle of the process of cooking. We're going to use our very fancy utensils over here to mix that. And again, this is able to keep the macaroni and cheese stable and more creamy
texture.
what you're used to.
Mike, who comes up with the recipes? How does that begin?
I came up with the recipes. I had a knack for barbecue a long time ago, and I used to travel a lot and went to Kansas City and Memphis and Texas for a different company and always migrated to barbecue places. And so I said, I want to do this. So I had an opportunity. I had a restaurant in LaGrange for about 5 years. I think we have the #1 location in LaGrange. And so I said, I don't want to lose this. So I said, let's do barbecue. So we're really authentic in our cooking process, but we're chic and unique up front. So
Yeah,
it's
great food.
comfortable and it's fun and it's priced right.
And it's nice because there are not many barbecue places around.
There is not.
I mean, they're outskirts. You have to go to Oak Park, or they have the little fast
south
food
a
kind
little
of
bit.
thing, but it's not what you're looking for.
I don't know of any other barbecue
I
besides
don't.
Q-BBQ.
Yeah, well, that's our new one, that's for sure. We love the food.
All right. Next, we're going to do some of the fun stuff here. We're going to put in some heavy cream. Now, this is, of course, fat-free, cholesterol-free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy cream.
If you do that, then you won't have macaroni and
You know
cheese.
that.
Some of us
Right.
make some.
It'll be-
Oh,
Want
heavy
you to
cream
s-
goes in everything.
Soupy.
Can I look at you when you're saying that so I know what you're
Heavy
looking
cream
like?
and garlic.
Not
Why?
telling the truth. I don't want it then if it is.
We're going to put in a little 2% milk to offset that heavy cream. And again, people think that mac and cheese is just let's just throw a few cheeses in and do it. It doesn't hold up, and it'll be very stringy and stuff. So you really need these dairy products to offset that heavy cheese.
Now, your menu, do you look at that often, revisit it, and just, you know?
That's a great question because actually we...
That's why I'm here.
It's like I planted that. We've been open a year, so we're taking some steps now, hearing some customer feedbacks of what people want, what people aren't eating, and what people... So we're changing up our menu this week, actually.
Cool.
We've added a few different menu items as
All right,
well.
we'll stop by.
We're going to add a loaded mac and cheese. So I'm going to let you try this and then tell you what it's going to be.
A minute left here.
All right,
finish
so
adding
we're
everything.
going to add...
John asks a lot of questions, just so you know.
He does, and that's
You
fine.
can tell him, hold on, I gotta put my cheese in now.
We're going to put a little Velveeta cheese. We're going to put some cheddar cheese.
And Velveeta cheese, because you like that as a...
You know, Velveeta is just really the quintessential American cheese
Yeah.
that people recognize that taste.
Gotcha.
And so when they look at macaroni and cheese, they want to taste Velveeta. Then we're going to put in cheddar cheese for its sharpness. And this is our little secret recipe here. This is our Gouda cheese, which is, if you're used to provolone, it's a smoked provolone.
Yeah.
So we take the Gouda cheese and we'll cut that up and because it does not melt as high. And we will put that into there. And this adds the smoky flavor, which brings it all home to a barbecue place. I think we have everything there.
That and then the pasta, huh?
Yep, so we've been secretly doing the pasta over here on our other stove. And we have that already here. And so we just use your typical elbow macaroni. Do you have a question about that?
No, we're waiting for finished product now.
I have one question. Have you
They're
ever
ready
thought
to
of coming with a different type of noodle for a healthier balance, like a whole grain?
You don't go to a barbecue place for a
Okay.
healthy.
All right. I understand. I understand.
There's nothing healthy in there.
Maybe he missed the cream part.
Yeah.
Heavy
I'm
with
trying to
the
make it
cream.
healthier for you.
And the magic of TV, we have the finished product
That
right
looks a lot
here.
different.
It does look a lot different. After it gets to simmer,
Oh, wow, that looks
look at
good.
this. I'm going to just pour that
Watch
from
the shirt.
above. It's all right, I'm wearing
I'm worried about my
blue.
shirt.
He's got the rest of the segment.
All right. So what
Wow.
we do is we make the macaroni and cheese fresh right there for every order. And then we plate it
No lie.
into these little ramekins because what we have at the restaurant is a conveyor oven, which we put it through as the finished product. And these are really handy dandy.
Speaking of the finished product, we'll take the rest of this to the office for the staff.
That's fine. It's all here for your use. Sorry for my
That's
mess
my
here.
lunch.
Oh, it's a
That's your lunch.
Exactly.
And
An
then,
extra container.
and then what we do,
Exactly.
because what makes us different and unique is we don't just stop with the mac and cheese. We add Cheez-Its on top.
Oh,
cheese.
very good.
Oh.
Very, very
Then
good
we
one.
break
Yes.
it.
Yep.
We break them up. So we'll add those on top, and then we'll put those through the conveyor oven,
Bake it a little.
and we will make those a little crispy. And voila, you have Q-BBQ's
Excellent.
mac and cheese.
Let them try that here.
Ladies first.
Thank you.
They have forks
I
there.
like the idea about the Cheez-Its. That is a very good
Yeah,
idea.
very.
What's
That's
good
pretty
about
unique.
food,
Oh, you have napkins? Thank you.
or my philosophy on food is you need texture And so when you have stuff that is just really creamy, adding a little crunch to it.
I was gonna say, yeah, all the
Adding-
creaminess, the crunch on top.
Right.
And I actually had that, and that was the first thing that stuck out with me when I was sitting there eating with my kids was, what did he put on? I'm like, he crushed up fish.
Yeah.
And then I figured out it was, the fishies or whatever.
And I guarantee you that the oven makes these Cheez-Its even better.
They do. It
Dries it out a little bit.
dries it out. That's a very good
Well, let's get our first comment from the judge panel here. Who wants to go first?
I'll tell you what. Now I know why my wife gets this every time she goes to the restaurant. I kind of flip, but this is awesome. Great marriage of all the cheeses. You can just taste it.
I agree. A good marriage of cheese. I love the cheese that's on top. The balance and of the crunchiness with the creaminess, and also the way the cheeses blend together. It's not separated. It's not oily. It's not greasy. I think it's a real good job.
Excellent.
Yeah, it is. It's the combination of all those cheeses. You don't taste just one. It has a different flavor.
That's fantastic.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Smoky flavor.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Well,
Gouda is.
An A+ for the Gouda and the Cheez-It toppings for Michael here. When we come back, we're going to make some coleslaw. We'll see you in a minute. Hi, welcome back to Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti, and to reintroduce our celebrity judge panel, we have Mr. Matt Cindy here joining us today. We have Mrs. Lauren Presta, good morning, and Mr. John Passarella.
Good morning.
Welcome again. We just made some fabulous mac and cheese with our host here, Michael Lapidus of Q-BBQ, and the second signature dish he's going to show us how to make with a lot of ingredients here again is some fancy coleslaw. So take it over, Michael.
Well, Pete, we don't do anything halfway, so we put a lot of ingredients and stuff. I think that's what people keep coming back over and over.
It shows some authenticity and it shows originality and that it's not just simple mac and cheese or simple coleslaw. These were, I thought, 2 or 3 ingredient items, and obviously they're not.
Right. So with our coleslaw, our philosophy on that was we wanted to do something in between a vinegar-based, where it's non-creamy, no mayo, anything, and then on the opposite end was just pure mayo and cream. So we think that we put together the perfect recipe of both of those, and that they marry together and really have that creamy sense, but it's not overpowering. So we, again, are going to use some real down-home heavy ingredients. We have
Full-fat mayo.
well,
We like heavy ingredients.
we're going to use not cream this time, buttermilk.
I like
Oh, even better.
There you go, even better. And healthier.
There you go. And you'll see that great texture of buttermilk. We're then going to put some sour cream, which is 3 different creams all in one.
Using cream on the front end.
Yes, so we are going to use cream on the front end.
Mike, where does the marriage come with it being on a sandwich? Because that's just like the Q style.
Yeah, the
called.
again, the coleslaw on a sandwich gives it that crunch.
The crunch.
But it also gives it this different flavors, which brings out the meat. And I'll tell you, and I'll go to this because we don't have to do it in any order, but horseradish goes into our,
Wow.
Very, very good.
and so that gives the coleslaw a little bite.
Right.
So I mean, did it originate somewhere? You combining the coleslaw onto a sandwich? Is that you saw it somewhere, or you just came up with that idea?
Actually, to do that, I was at Morton Steakhouse and I had the blue cheese encrusted steak, and I said, "We've got to put blue cheese on our brisket." Then I said, "It needs a little crunch. What are we going to do? And what ingredients do we have? So let's not put lettuce on there. Let's put coleslaw on there." So we're only going to use a little bit of horseradish, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And this is really a
You
Just
got
a little 3/4 cup of
You got
issues
more
with
there.
measurements, don't you?
Just a little more.
Yeah, please.
Give a cup of that to John over here really quick.
Yeah, it'll shove me
I
up.
think that would definitely be the cologne for the day.
So, Michael, I got a question for you. You have vinegar and dairy. When they mix, they don't mix real good. So, how does it work?
well. White vinegar doesn't mix very well with other things.
Okay.
But that leads me into my next. We use red wine vinegar.
Okay.
So you will see that we're using red wine and wine in a lot of our dishes here, which gives it that little culinary flair. but red wine vinegar has less acidity in it,
Okay.
so it mixes well with the dairy.
Mike, where'd your passion begin back in your journey? How far back were
I
you
think my
going?
passion for food began with the bottle, and I.
To serve.
Bottle of barbecue sauce.
You know what? I grew up cooking dinners for myself and a lot, and really just experimented and did stuff like that. So that's where that came.
Now, Michael, where do you get your, you know, I know you developed your menu, but as you look forward, a menu needs to keep on evolving and changing around. So where do you get your ideas, or where are your sources for looking for new ideas?
Well, I watch a lot of Food Channel.
Yes, Food Network is my favorite.
It is, you know, and I do visit a lot of barbecue places. I was just kidding with you when I said that. There's a lot of good barbecue in Chicago, and there's a lot of good barbecue across this nation. And so I continually, and I take my staff with me to go and try and see. So we see it, and we're able to go from the service end of it into the cooking end of it.
Cool. We do
Are there
It's really
barbecue
important.
food shows? Like I've attended a lot of like the Cisco food shows and you know the NRA and stuff like that. Are there barbecue specific?
There's a lot of competitions out there, but that's one thing you know, we do ribs, and our ribs are competition ribs. They're out of this world nuts.
Really?
They're
Never had
nuts. They're this thick.
Seriously.
They fall off the bone. We don't boil them or
Next time you
anything.
gotta go to the rib.
But there's a lot of
definitely.
people. We're gonna put a little black pepper in here. There's a lot of people doing rib contests, and we kind of stayed clear of that.
Meals
So-
don't take too long either. I mean, real quick. It's not fast food if it's just served in a real timely manner.
It is. I mean, we've pre-made some of this stuff, you know, to have it ready, and then we assemble it. This is to add a little sweetness on there. This is just plain sugar.
I can't believe the ingredients that are going in.
Gonna add that in there.
Just a
Mayo,
little
and it's
sugar.
Very,
right?
very
Yeah.
interesting, this balance. that you
Yeah,
have.
and then we're gonna put
Yeah, they
salt
almost
because
contradict each other.
now we don't use the kosher salt in here because it won't dissolve as much in a cold atmosphere. So we do use the small granulated salt. And then one of our last ingredients is Dijon mustard. This adds, it really takes all of this white cream and sour cream and butter or and sugars and stuff and really balances it out.
Oh,
And so what we're going to do here is we're going to mix this up, and it becomes a nice creamy mixture here.
You have 8 ingredients already, I think, at least.
Did you count them? I did.
Well, I'm looking at the bowls all around. There goes that sugar. You got him.
you got him
beat.
Okay. My new friend over here.
I'm sorry about that.
My wife will be calling you after this episode.
Okay, so what I did already was I pre-chopped our carrots and our cabbage, and we do that into a really nice square mixture.
Okay.
It's important that when we're plating it, we're doing it in something small. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the finished ingredients to this, and look at the mess I made here.
That's okay. You have 30 seconds to clean up after this.
Yeah.
so.
now Michael, you hand chop this, right? You hand chop it back.
Correct.
Okay.
We hand chop that. And then we're going to go ahead and mix that mixture together, and you are going to get really,
So this is the finished product?
this is the finished product right here.
Excellent.
And we're going to be very generous on
Mike, over the years, what have
product.
you gotten better at that you're real proud of? You know, and I mean that, you know, because obviously you get to a point as in your career that you feel real confident about this or that.
I think our,
I was going to put it in there and shake it up.
you know what, that's a great idea. That's, we're really getting better in making sure that our meats and are served at the right temperature and that they're really hot and great for the customer.
Wrap it up.
You
Wrap
wanna
it
shake
up.
it?
We keep wrapping it up.
All right,
We got to get a longer
WIU, that's going to be your new thing.
There you go.
WIU.
that's all
We
right.
just need better cue cards.
Maybe
No,
bigger
we're not
ones.
putting the Cheez-Its on here.
No, no Cheez-Its are going to go on here, Matt.
You know what to get them for.
Although, can I tell you right now, I think it would taste good with the Cheez-Its on it too. So obviously,
With or without.
But I love cheese
Now the
too.
crunch is
You're right.
already in there.
okay. I thought we just had another crunch.
I love it.
Did you keep your fork?
No, they
No, we
took it
did
away
not.
from us.
There you go. There's
I'll eat one
yours.
out of there.
I can use my finger.
Yes,
Another
chopsticks.
one? No.
That's all right. I'll
I'll
just.
take blame for that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, very good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I cannot believe what you're saying. The horseradish and everything. You're getting that full flavor, but it's
Yeah, I
not
love your
killing it.
coleslaw.
You're not getting burnt.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It
Your
just-
coleslaws.
It's smooth.
Ridiculous.
It's smooth.
And it's
That's
like,
the wine talking. Mr.
Red
Probst, after
wine.
you're done.
I love the utensils that you supply.
Hey, listen. Only the best
Well,
for
you know, I won't say it.
It's some of the best. It's for a big mouth.
Yeah, okay, you said it
Go ahead,
for
you
me.
can say it.
He gets the big spoon.
Some of the best coleslaw I've ever eaten.
Excellent.
I mean, just
I agree.
tastes great.
I agree.
Well, that was his famous coleslaw, and when we come back, we're going to have his famous brisket sandwich right after this. See you soon.
Brisket. I love the brisket.
Welcome back to Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti. And to reintroduce our celebrity judge panel, I'm going to go with Miss Lauren Presta first, because you're important to me. Good morning. I'm going to save you for last, because you talk about it. So now I'm going to go to Mr.
been a
Matt
rough
Cindy.
morning.
Thank you very much for coming and eating heavy cream and Cheez-Its. And
I love it.
It was a great morning. And of course, the one and only Mr. John Passerella. Excellent. Make sure we get a spoon shot from the last episode, okay? That was great. We have a celebrity host over here. We have Mr. Michael Lapidus, owner and operator of Q-BBQ. He's been making us some famous mac and cheese coleslaw. Now he's going to show us how to assemble his famous brisket sandwich. I can't wait to see this.
All right, so as you can see, I'm very passionate about our sides, but this is my sore spot here, is meat. We take a brisket, and a brisket is 3 different things to 3 different people, and it's very apropos. The Irish, they boil it and put spices in it and make corned beef. The Jewish make pastrami out of it.
Okay.
And then the Texans take the piece of meat and smoke it. So that's what we're doing right here. So we take this piece of meat, we put it in our smoker for 22 hours, and then the next morning we take it out, and it was this big, now it's this big, and then we take off the fat and we chop it up or we slice it up, and we make wonderful, awesome sandwiches.
Wow.
What wood do you use for your smoking?
So we use hickory and apple for our smoking.
Is that the wood that's in front of your restaurant?
It is, and then we also have a lot of it in the back. Let me just take a pause
Look at
here
that.
and just
Oh my
zoom
in
God.
on
in.
that.
Do we get a taste of
So,
that? I think we,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
yeah, I think we should get a taste of
know,
that.
Good move, Matt.
brisket.
We'll share.
Brisket is
No, take a piece.
Oh, very good.
brisket is
Perfect.
the. I didn't get it on your shirt. That was
Jeez,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I
get it?
can taste
that's
smoke.
ridiculous.
Brisket is one of the hardest pieces of meat on the cow.
Well, look at the smoke ring. You can see the smoke ring in there. That's very, very good. Yeah.
And so when it's all said and done, we take this piece and we chop it up, and it looks like this. So you're able to get it onto the sandwich.
Right, Pete?
Much better here.
I'm chewing, John. Oh, yeah.
I was
That's
giving
why
you
it's calling
a
you.
time cue.
So, Michael, you talked about the brisket and everything, but
Look at that sandwich.
meat
What a
by
mess
itself
I am.
is not, smoked meat by itself is not good, is all right, but it's not. What your sauce? Is it vinegar? Is it, sweet? Or
Yep, we have 4 different types of sauces. We have our Carolina vinegar, which is used on the East Coast in South and North Carolina. Really, there is just vinegar and hot pepper, but we added about 15 more different spices to it to kind of make it a little more grown
What a
up.
surprise.
The same thing with our sweet sauce. Our sweet sauce is very sweet, but it's 100%
Unbelievable.
sugars and all natural ingredients. All of our sauces are gluten-free as well. So there's no preservatives or corn syrup and all that stuff. We are going to put the Carolina vinegar, which is what we put onto the sauce, and this cuts the meat a little bit and makes it a little less smoky. And you can see that we take onions with this and saute onions, and then when we're done with it, we strain it out and put it into our beans.
okay.
Okay, so this is your normal brisket sandwich right here, but we Q-style it. We kick it up a notch, and we are going to take blue cheese, which is one of my
very good.
favorite cheeses here,
Yes.
and we're going to smother that all over the sandwich right there.
I like
I
how
love your heaping.
That's a smother.
Plating this.
That's
I
a
love
smother,
the
I think.
heaping.
And then we are going to toast this, and then we're going to take our creamy coleslaw, and this really is a nice heap, and we're going to put that on there.
Wow.
Wow.
And
That's
we're going to
barbecue.
take
You ever had
that,
I
and we're going
didn't
to put
have
that
coleslaw.
down.
No.
Oh,
It's the only way.
this
That's
just
the way.
melts
Get that
in your mouth.
Yeah, there's no way to eat it but that way.
And there's only going to be enough for 2 sandwiches, so you two.
That works. Not really. That works. Oh,
You
you're
can make mine a
kidding.
quarter.
We wouldn't do that to you.
Yes, you would. And you have the knife, so I'm not arguing.
So if you see right here, you have the smoke flavor, or you have the brisket with the smoke. You have the blue cheese going on there. You have a really nice fluffy bun.
That looks good. Very,
And
very
you're
good.
going to put that on there.
Pass it down, pass it
There
down.
we go.
Why, thank you.
This
You're welcome.
That looks beautiful.
is really just heaven on a plate.
Wow. Thank you.
How many people can say they've had brisket at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Oh,
Not many.
Three.
Three.
I-
I did.
3, yeah, very good.
That's it right here.
And had it served.
Well, while you guys take a bite, why don't you tell us your.
There you go.
You know, you're the first person to give me food on this show. You can believe that? I've never had that.
My goodness.
But I'm not going to take a bite
eat it
because John
later.
will make me laugh. So, and he'll do it on purpose. So let's get, after they're taking a bite, why don't you give us your hours of operation and address and stuff like that?
So we're downtown LaGrange next to the movie theater. We are open from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. during the week. And then we're open till 9 during the weekends. And in the summer, open till 10. We have an awesome
Parking lot.
parking lot, but awesome outside during the summer. We do also do beer and wine for everyone who's 7 times 3. And we just really have a great atmosphere up front with great cooking in back.
Excellent. Let's get a assessment here.
Assessment
Very,
of the
very
brisket.
good. I love the flavors. I loved how the blue cheese really worked with the coleslaw, which then worked with the beef. Very, very good.
Contrast.
I think the crunch was awesome. You think of a sandwich and you think it's more dry and mushy. This just adds just the right balance.
Excellent.
This is the only sandwich I eat when I go there.
Oh, really?
I was reminded why.
I'm gonna. We'll see. I'm inspired to try. 'Cause
Always
when I
taste
go there, I get like pulled pork.
I used to, but then I went to the brisket.
brisket.
I'm gonna have to
and
try
then
that. I've never had.
Q-style, always Q-style.
Yeah.
I cannot. I would love to taste it with the melted blue cheese. I think that even
One-
that's
yeah,
more.
one in there.
Oh,
With the
that's
bread
a
and
lot.
everything,
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Excellent. Well, I want to
Toast that
say
bun.
thank you so much to our celebrity judge panel for eating brisket at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's fantastic. I know it's a
No
tough
problem,
job
Al.
here.
Oh, you
guys have.
twisted my arm.
Yeah. And I want to thank Mr. Mike Lapidus for coming in so early in the morning and cooking us these fabulous foods from LaGrange. So until next time, thank you. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti, and you're watching Cook This. Until next time, thanks.